Hey, when's the last time we hung out?
We just hang out Monday.
No, I'm talking about that was accidental. When's the last time like you're like, hey, what's up, bro? Hit me up. Or like, hey, let's hang out.
Fuck, it's been years.
The reason I'm asking you that is because I feel like the last time we actually did hang out like that was before you got cancer.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Right?
Also, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I partied hard. I know you did too. What was your life before cancer? Like,
Holy shit.
what was it? What was it like? And you don't got to go hell into detail, but just what are like on a surface level, what were you doing with your life? What were you putting into your body? What did your environment look like?
I mean, there's so many aspects, and if I have to elaborate that in a shorter version,
You can, yeah, go. No, it's just,
I guess it will be just a crazy, irresponsible life. I mean, I was just thought that life was just partying and having friends and hanging out and, chasing women around. That's what my life looked like. I mean, there was no future. It was just the moment, right? Like I just did what I had to do that day. Which is funny because now that I could really think about and reflect, I'm like, wow, that's insane. And, a lot of people live that way, which is fine. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do, but I feel it. I'm glad now that I'm here and I could really reflect on it. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's good. I know. I remember your life before cancer. Obviously, I didn't live with you, but I know what you were doing, and it was a lot of partying, and it was, you didn't have this. You were cutting hair, but just in like your bathroom.
Yeah. No. I already had started the first barbershop that I
Oh, you
created.
did?
Yeah. But it was in the middle of it. Like I remember I was doing construction and I got cancer right there.
Here?
Like towards the end. No, it was Los Barberos.
Los Barbaros. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pre-cancer, you were just kind of wild man, no really path. Would you say you had discipline, no discipline?
I had a little bit of discipline, yeah, because like I'm always being vain, and I worked out. I ate decently. I would say my only thing was just drinking, but I wasn't like a huge drunk either, But I did drink maybe every weekend, right? And heavily. I would say heavily to the. Now I could say like I used to think that was normal drinking, but now I'm like, oh yeah. I was just getting hammered.
Right.
Like
Right.
You just don't remember much.
Right. There was no limitation. You're just going and just going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it became a habit, I guess.
So walk me through that. When you found out you had cancer, how did you find out? And then what was going through your mind?
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, why not? I'll be raw and I'll be super honest.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, I remember I was having sex with this girl at the time, and I felt this little pinch, obviously in my testicle, and I didn't think of anything. I was just like, all right, maybe I got a little twist or something like that. But then the next day started hurting, and then weeks passed by, and I was like, oh, that's weird. It got swollen, and at the time I was just so concentrated on just partying that I didn't think of anything.
You thought it was just an injury.
Like nothing else. And it got bigger, and I was doing construction at the time. Los Barberos on my first business. And it got to the point that it was so big that I could barely walk. Then that's when I went to the ER. So I went to the ER, got all this tests done. They did a scan on it, and they told me that there was some blood in it. So I had to run to the ER immediately. Like they took me out of the bed. I was like, go now. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, go there in ER. I mean, this is a funny story because I'm even going through this. I was just still like nonchalant. Like, oh, bro, they just gonna remove some liquid off my testicle and I'm gonna be fine. Like in my head, I was already thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna go out with this girl. That sounds so stupid, but this is the real.
This what you weren't focused on in that moment. What they're saying,
No.
what they're doing. You're already thinking. It may not. That's not also too bad because you're not hyper focused in taking what may be happening and then taking it to the extreme either. You know what I mean?
I guess,
But also went to that extreme. But go ahead, finish what you're saying.
But anyways, I get to the ER, and then the nurse comes and he starts telling me about what they're going to do and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, how long is this going to take? Like, I gotta go out tonight.
Okay.
And then he's like, oh, bro, I don't think you're going out tonight, bro. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you do know they're going to remove your testicle, right? And I was like, what? I was like, and this is how stupid and ignorant I was at the time, that I would say, well, can you guys just put like a syringe there and take the liquid out? Like, I was telling him how to do his job. That's how ridiculous and dumb and ignorant I was at the
Sure.
time. And he was like, your testicle is dead, son. Like, that is gone. Like, we have to remove it. It's bad in there. I was like, then that's when reality hit. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this is real shit right now. And I remember I cried a little bit, bro. Like, I waited until he left.
For sure.
And that's when I was like, what the fuck? And all I thought was vanity again, bro. Like, I'm like, am I going to be able to have sex? Am I going to have erections? Are they going to
You're not even focused on if life and death. You're just looking at that.
It's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. And I had no one there, man. I mean, I drove myself there because I didn't think nothing. I thought it was just going to be like a little quick, little fixer-upper. But anyways, I remember going to surgery. I just woke up and then they were like, well, it's gone. But now they were like, okay, well, I don't think there's nothing bad. It was testicular cancer, but it usually doesn't spread. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went home like nothing had happened. I mean, I was a little sad, but then, I tested that if I had got erections, and the next day it was fine. Dude.
Okay.
Like, I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay.
But that was the story of just getting the first time that I knew this was going on. Yeah.
And then what did you like when the procedure happened, right? Because I also know like it wasn't just in your testicles because they cut you on your stomach too, right?
Oh, yeah.
What was there? What was there?
Well, first, I remember I got a call because they had to examine the tumor that they took out of my testicle. And I think it was like a week or two that they passed by, and they were like, oh, you got cancer, and then it moved to your lymph nodes. And at first I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, obviously I was still ignorant. I didn't know nothing about cancer. I didn't know what were the next steps going to be or anything like that. And I remember, doctor, you're going to have to start a chemo. And I was just in my head, I was just like, what? Like, in my head, I was just like, I'm too young to do this kind of stuff. Like, I didn't care about any of these things. So I prolonged it. I remember I even went out with a buddy of mine. We went to Tijuana and had fun. And we were all doing this crazy stuff. And things weren't just clicking in my head. Like, I was just trying to... maybe I was just trying to escape reality. Mm-hmm. But finally, it was just too scary to just... reject it, that I finally reached out and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I did 3 cycles of BEP, which is the chemo, and they were horrible. I remember the last week, that was the one that hit me. That one, I remember telling, because I couldn't take myself to the hospital, get it done anymore, so my mom went, picked me up. I honestly was just like, I don't think I could do this anymore. Like, I quit.
The chemo.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It was just like, dude, like, you feel dead. You feel like a zombie, man. Like, jeez. Like, my veins, you can't even put the needle inside my veins because they were just so hard from all that liquid stuff that they put in my body. And obviously, I don't think I was emotional. I was just exhausted. Like, I just walked like... There was nothing in my brain. The brain fog was real. It was insane. But then I did it just honestly, maybe because my mom was there. Maybe that pushed me a little bit more. But finally, I finished it, and this is the funny part. Like, I finished it, and guess what happened, bro? Like, honestly, I went back to my old mentality. It's like that big ass, whoa, that big ass obstacle that I went through. That you think that, oh, now he's
It
gonna
would
get
have
his shit
changed you.
together. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I was already thinking like, what I'm gonna do? Who am I gonna sleep with? All this crazy shit, man. I was like, wow, I can't believe that. But this is where I feel like God always freaking answers to you. Oh, you trying to play? I'm gonna show you the real stuff. That's when I got another call, and the doctor was like, you know what? Chemo killed the cancer cells, but didn't remove the tumor. Oh, it didn't shrink the tumor enough for us to say it's okay for you to live your life. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, we have to do surgery and we have to remove it. And the surgery is called RPLND. And you technically, they have to cut you from the top of your belly all the way to the bottom right here, sort of by your scrotum. And again, vanity hits again. I was like, you mean I have to have a fucking scar on my six pack? Like no way. You know, it took me a month to go and do that surgery. And during that time, I was just trying to be tough. And I was like, nah, I don't need it. Blah, 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 blah. Finally, I was just so scared. Like, if I didn't do this, I could lose my life. So I went, did it. And it turned out to be a lot easier than chemo, to be honest. But then I had a different mentality. That's when I really touched, like, the real life that I was like, I've been fucking around too much. That shit woke me up, bro. Like, I'm so grateful that I went through that. Like, I will, if I had to do cancer to know that again, I'll do it again. That's how uplifted I was at that time. Yeah.
So after they cut you, after they removed it, what changed in your life?
I mean, it changed my perspective.
Because I know it changed. I'll let you talk. Because I know it changed you.
Yeah.
But I guess I want to emphasize if there was a certain point that changed. Maybe it wasn't the first day, second day, but at what point? Because you're not the same person as I remember that I used to party with.
Yeah.
So yeah, what changed after? Like, and when and what changed? What did you change in your life?
Well, first, I guess I just had a vision of if I continued living the life that I was living, nothing good was going to come out of it. And I had to ask the deep questions to be like, has any good stuff come out of that life that I have lived for so long, you know? And it's really hard to look outside of yourself and really pay attention on how you were living or what did you do in life. Did that bring you any enjoyment? Did I bring any visions, goals, things like that nature, right? And there was nothing that I could be like, yeah, let me live this life still. No way. And I was just like, I gotta change. So at first it was just a vision, but I didn't know how to go about enriching my life. Definitely had no sort of
You had no
direction.
plan, no path. You knew you wanted to change something. You just didn't know where to start. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
I had no clue how to start. So I think I still did many mistakes after that, obviously. I mean, I did have my mind right, but I was still doing mistakes of like relationships or even businesses and stuff like that, right? I still had the business, but I wasn't getting along with my business partner at the time. But it was just communication at the end of the day. But those were insecurities that I had built throughout my whole life of consuming alcohol. And obviously I was consuming alcohol trying to run away from reality, right? But I think where I had my first step was I joined this group coaching for men. And that's when I started getting a little bit of momentum because they were kind of guiding me on what to do with my life.
So group coaching, the group coaching gave you more positivity? What did it give you? And then immediately after, did it give you instructions on, hey, this is what you're going to do in life now? Obviously, I don't think it did that. Maybe it gave you some bullets. What did the group coaching give you? And then I know, because I know you decided to change your environment because obviously you are not at your old business that you had with your business partner. You're here. So kind of walk me through the group coaching. What did that teach you? And then what did you take from that and start doing?
Yeah. I think group coaching was amazing. Well, before group coaching, I reached out to this therapist in Kaiser, not talk bad about that specifically therapist or anything. Like, they were just doing their job, but didn't feel very genuine. I felt like they were reading out of a book when I was talking to them. So I didn't like that one, and I caught it so quickly that I was like, okay, I need something better. And that's when I reached out to this group coaching, and I think it was in San Diego somewhere. But so most of this was online. It was a workshop, but you also met like on Zoom calls with all this group of men. It was maybe like 20 people in there, and you talk about your problems. What are your insecurities? What are you afraid of? Most of it's just fear, right? That what you're trying to overcome, or trauma. At the time, I feel like for me it was more fear, right? Like I was more of a people pleaser kind of type of person, and the fear for me was just like I didn't want to upset people. I didn't want them to think that like I was trying to overcome. I just wanted to be nice. I just want to belong to
So you were kind of that quote unquote yes man. You didn't want to stop saying yes to people, where you felt like obligated. If somebody asks you something, you want to say yes. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, even when I was in the group thing, like men will talk about their problems, and their problems were like tiny compared to mine. I mean, my problems were tinier compared to theirs. Sorry. But I was just like, wow. But it was such a eye-awakening for me.
For sure.
That I was like, holy shit, man. Like, but nonetheless, I mean, I knew that my problems weren't just as less as to theirs. It was just a problem that I had to overcome. But the workshop was great. I mean, it taught me how to like read more books, to be more confident with myself, to face all those fears that I have, and to be more courageous, right? And I just started building on those steps that they gave me, and I built confidence through with it. And yeah, you just have to have big balls and do it. And yeah, the big thing was it wasn't to erase friends because they were bad, not at all. Like most of my friends are amazing dudes, and not trying to talk bad about them. It's just they had another vision for themselves, and I had another vision, or I was trying to.
You had a vision for your own life that didn't necessarily align with.
Exactly, it didn't align those values or visions that we had at the time. So yeah, I mean, I stopped hanging out with them, and again, not because I thought I was better than them. I just wanted something different. I was looking for something different, and that helped out. Obviously, I just went into solitude mode. I wasn't lonely. Like obviously, I have friends, or I have girlfriends at the time, or friendships, or dating at the time. But so I was never alone. It was just like more of a solitude mode where I was just going home and studying or reading.
So is that so? Because I know you developed a lot of positive habits. You got rid of damn near all your shitty habits.
Yeah.
Is that through that reflection? Is that when you decided to develop positive habits? Not all on the same day, but because you've always been. I mean, for the most part, you've been kind of on the healthier side of things, not necessarily maybe with alcohol consumption and, I don't know what kind of foods you were eating, but like you were working out a lot, right? Yeah. You're working out, and what you put into your body is way different from pre-cancer now, right? For example, you quit alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the habits that you built, did they all come at once where you decided, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take this out, or was it slowly over time?
There was definitely some things that I would just cut through
Immediately,
the main ones, right? It was just like, okay, align with your values, be around, surround yourself with people that are aligning with those values that you are, acquiring. That was main priority. What other thing? Oh, be courageous. Stop caring about what other people think and things of that nature. That was the main ones, and then obviously the little ones that give you momentum, like eating better. Obviously, that was easier for me.
right?
But I still had to make sure that I didn't drink, because you could take care of your food side well, but then if you're drinking horribly,
No, it just
then
cross cancels it out. It doesn't matter. You're still
Yeah.
putting poison into your body. I mean, I shouldn't say that because people drink in everything in moderation.
Yeah,
right.
and there's
But
nothing wrong with
no,
alcohol.
absolutely no.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having time to, if you know your health,
Yeah.
and if you're able to have it, you should have it. But obviously, vulnerability. You have a health vulnerability. I have a health vulnerability.
Yeah.
We can't. As much as we want to enjoy all the things life has to offer, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the thing, when I was younger, people always would tell me, like, because I'm a very, I don't know, I don't think I'm a stubborn person, but I would say, like, I love when people didn't do the things that I did. Like, I love being, like, just working on a project, going by myself.
dude, yes.
And people would think,
Yes.
like, I'm weird
Yes.
or
No.
this and that. And I was just like, well, this is what I freaking enjoy. Why do I gotta be like someone else?
No.
But, with the social pressure, you do cave in, and then you're like, well, I guess I got to be like this other person just to belong.
It's the people pleasing that you started to get rid of, and you started to recognize that. It also comes just with as you get older, which you already obviously know.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I didn't fucking bring it, dude. But one of the things that you told me, and I read this book. I don't know at what point you got this book and read it, but The Miracle Morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I read it. At what point did you? I mean, I know you read a lot. You still reading a lot?
Oh, dude.
Okay.
Tons.
Okay. I know you wake up early, and I know you have a routine habit. At what point did you decide, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick to this? And again, this is obviously post-cancer. And then we'll get into kind of when you started to decide to embark on a solo journey as an entrepreneur, no partnership. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that book was amazing. Obviously, I don't do those things anymore because
Right.
you just get a little, you just run out of time. And I have 3 locations. So
Right.
you have to be smart and allocate that time into another productive things. But I mean, it was great. I mean, it was just about reading, taking a cold shower, working out, meditating. What else did it
Which
do?
a lot of people don't do.
Journaling.
Just saying.
Yeah, and it was just all those steps into like 30 or an hour in the morning. But the whole concept of that is just you achieving so many little wins that you are so able to do more wins throughout the day. So that builds and stacks up again in the next day and the day after, and you feel good about yourself.
So it's the habit forming process that taught you that you could take now and apply to other things in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Because with those habits, I mean, I did that for like a year plus, you know, and obviously that transcended into other aspects of my life.
Right.
I'm able to just, think about, okay, well, like even with this location, I didn't know nothing about construction that much. I knew a little bit, which was electrical, but the designing and all that stuff, I wasn't totally up there. So you see a little of those mistakes, but my second one got better. And then now the third one got even better. But I still make mistakes. I still fail in a lot of things, and I see those things. But I could take those failures to my next shop. If I do create another one, I'll be able to create something even better.
So I know you have 3 locations now. It's 2-part question, but the first question is, what made you decide? And you mentioned the courageous part of the therapy or the coaching sessions, teaching you how to be courageous, right? And then turning that energy inwards into what you want to accomplish. But I just want to ask, because I'm an entrepreneur, obviously, you know that. What made you want to take that risk to go do this solo, no help, learn the construction? What was in you that decided to put that risk in? And I want to answer this for you, but I'm not going to answer it. I want to ask this question because I feel like did the cancer spark that, or did the coaching, or did what happened afterwards and the habit forming things that you started doing spark that?
Maybe a combination of many of all those things, to be honest. But if I have to really go back and think what was it that inspired me, honestly, I just did it. To tell you the truth, I can't really think of one specific thing. It was just the momentum that I already had built up. I was just like, why not?
Okay.
Right? I mean, was I scared? Of course, dude. Like I remember, I'm right next to a Starbucks. I'm right on Walnut Creek. You think the rent is cheap? No. At the time, I was like, how am I gonna pay that? It was a big sum. But you just figure it out. I mean, I was staying here like 12, 15 hours a day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I already have my own clientele, and then the walk-ins that will come in, I was like, well, I guess I'm staying late. And day by day, I did that, and then I got one more barber, and then another one, and it just built up, and that momentum just built more courage in me, more confidence. But don't get me wrong. I mean, all these things that I have could be taken away if I become weak and
Well, that's
stagnant.
what I was just about to ask you. That was going to be my next question. Is I know your fitness is it's better than it was before.
Yeah.
There's no debate. How are you able to maintain that mentally? And I'm only asking that because it's easy for people to say, oh, you go after work. But as an entrepreneur, you know the brain doesn't shut off. It's always 24/7 thinking, what can I do, this and that. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of them don't work out like us.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you maintaining, what allows you to maintain your health during this process? What's allowing you to stay disciplined no matter what? You're going to stay healthy and continue exercising?
Because I know the other side.
Sure, right.
Right? Like you feel shitty, man. Like you just really become weak. And you know, I'm not trying to say that in a mean way. Like we all go through weak parts of our life.
Oh yeah.
But you have to really look back and how you felt, because weakness itself is just, you know, you're allowing so much harm to yourself. You think that you're trying to be pleasant to people, you're trying to be nice, but that's not nice, man, because the worst part of it all is you just being cruel to yourself. And you just have to man up and just do the things that you don't want to do. And working out is one of the things that I freaking hate. I really honestly don't like it most of the time. There are more days that I don't like
Then when you do, sure.
that I do
Same.
like.
Same.
But I know that when I'm done, I feel good. And that I know that I did something that is actually better for me
Yes.
in the long run.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you think, would you give all of this effort, your health, your new knowledge base, these 3 locations, would you put all of this, I mean, would you categorize this all exists because of now your discipline?
Yeah, it's all discipline, dude. Honestly, it's not like I'm super talented. You know, there's better people than me, for sure. But talent doesn't get you there alone. You have to just do it every day. You just can't stop.
Put in the work, right?
Yeah, you just gotta put in the work. I mean, dude, I do the social media, I do the website design, I do the designs of the shop. And now I have a great team. Of course, they help me. I'm not saying that I do this completely alone. But I realize the more things that I do, it keeps me busy. And then, yeah, there's some people that tell me, like, bro, you need to take a break and all this stuff. But why? Like, if I take a break, it's just, why? What am I going to do?
Well, and also, just again, as a fellow entrepreneur, it doesn't compute mentally sometimes when someone's like, take a break, because the mindset that we have and all other entrepreneurs have is that signal to just continue. It doesn't stop, right? Of course you go to sleep, and of course you got time to eat and all these things. There's realities to certain things.
Yeah.
But you're always thinking about it.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about it. That part doesn't turn off. But also, that pathway only can take you where you want to go with discipline, because there's so many people that want to do it, right? But they don't do anything because of the fear, because they're afraid of risks or whatever the case, you know?
Yeah, I know. I get it. I mean, maybe just that we're older and we're able to see, there's the fear becomes lessened, But I mean, if we still got to battle it, I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
There are days where, I'm scared about, opening another location. I mean, it's new. I mean, I worked in San Francisco before, but I never worked as a barber out there, But I still just show up. Well, you just got to show up, start making content, making friends out there and spreading the word out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, yeah.
What are you working on now? Or is that after, because I know your location in San Francisco just opened. Is there something next, or was that the next, you're finished and now you're focused on marketing and advertising there, or is there something else coming?
There is something coming. I don't want to share that right now.
Okay, you don't have to.
Yeah. I have so many ideas that I do want to do. And, this is the thing about me, or I have learned about me, is that someday I would like to lay in my bed, I'm old as shit, and just be, you know what? I did everything that my brain gave me. I
don't think that day ever comes. Just from what I've heard talking to older.
But I wouldn't want to be laying down on my deathbed and be like, man, bro, like I wish I would have done
the
this
regrets.
and that.
Never.
You know what I mean?
Never.
Like I don't want to. Like I want to be sitting there and be like, fuck yeah, I did that. No matter what, like it doesn't even have to be successful, but knowing that I did.
Right. Right. I agree. Regret is you can never, in my opinion, I think if anything is at top of mind, obviously you don't want to be too hasty and do something that you don't necessarily knew a lot about, and you decide to move right, so you prepare, whatever the case. But I think regret is the killer of a lot of people's dreams, not just in business and everything, because of fear, because of of risk, and people just want to stay complacent, and they rather stay in their little comfort bubble without knowing that there's so much more, and that risk doesn't mean automatic failure. It doesn't mean automatic destruction of your dreams. If anything, the only way to your dream is through risk. Yeah. And you have to push yourself through that fear, because the fear is normal. Yeah. There's a saying in Batman where, and I use it all the time because it's a great saying, you only fear what you don't understand.
Yeah. But comfort's so nice, man.
Comfort is well, it's only nice for you. You know why?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I freaking hate it. I don't do it.
Well, hold on for a second. It's only nice for you because now you're doing so much. If it was comfort day after day after day.
No, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I know.
All right, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no. You need to snap out of it, of course.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean is just like when people choose comfort, I get it. It just feels so good. Like you just laying down,
100%, dude.
Eating chips, guacamole, salsa. It feels
chips
good,
and
man.
guacamole. Let me just tell you right now, that is my kryptonite, and if there's, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. You put chips and guac in front of me, it's a wrap.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You act like I'm like some sort of like psycho-discipline David Goggins.
No.
Dude, fuck no, man.
No.
Props to him, but I'm still human.
For sure.
I still make mistakes. I know how to reward myself now.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I know what the outcome comes.
We'll get you to David Goggins. We'll get you. We'll when the running gets better, I'll get you there. Do you have any recommendations for anyone that is struggling and coming from your experience. So if someone's watching this, maybe they have cancer.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a bad severe health problem, a disease. Any recommendations? And then that's part one. Any recommendations for them to lift their spirits or inspire them? And then maybe why they should take the risk, whatever that risk may be for them.
Yes. And now, I mean, I'm going to speak in a male part because I don't know how women,
Sure.
think.
Well, however you
I'm
want
not
to
a
answer
woman,
that.
but as a man, I do believe that, you have to cut off the fear because most of it just comes from the fear itself. You have to go in solitude because you have to know what you want. You got to find out who you are as a person. That's the only way that you're going to find out how to go beyond your expectations and move forward. And yeah, just killing that fear and being in solitude and find out what is it that you want, which should be those two things right there alone to just do anything that your mind says.
So if someone's struggling with a health problem, severe health problem, whatever that case is.
Well, that's a little different.
Let me
answer that one.
Yeah, answer that one.
If you're going to go, I mean, if I were to do it again.
And apply this, obviously, men and women. Apply this to anyone just listening. If they're struggling, they have cancer, they have a crazy disease, they're hospitalized, whatever, any health problems.
Yeah.
Any recommendation for them mentally to stay positive?
That's a hard one because no matter what you do, to stay positive in that vulnerable state that you are in, it's just so much stuff going in your head, you know what I mean? But I mean, just being around people, I mean, I was lucky enough that my parents were there, friends were there, and I took it for granted because at the time that I was going through, I was just thinking of vanity itself. And I wasn't really focusing on the problem itself because, to be honest, that problem became the best thing that ever happened to me, right? I didn't really think like this is a great opportunity. I know it's a bad experience at this moment, but I think something fruitful could come out of it. And it did. Like, it was just insane. Like, I wish if I could go back, just cherish the moments and really think about what the future comes out. Because after a rainy, it's a sunny day, man. Like, it always happens.
Sure.
Man. You just have to make sure that you're ready for that battle, and it may take long. You never know. It could have taken longer. Mine was like 2 years, 3 years maybe, because after chemo, you still do feel weak, and it does suck. So it took a while to get back, and then it just removes every little confidence away from you.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that.
Okay. Cool. Anything else to add?
On what, like the
anything
sickness?
You want? Anything you want? Any last words?
Last words. I mean, you know what? Don't be scared. Reach out. Be friendly with people. Be courageous. Don't be weak. Don't be hateful. Don't put nasty stuff in your thoughts. Be respectful to everyone that comes across you. Don't just fall into these ideologies that everybody falls into. Find out who you are. Read as many books as you can. Good books. Philosophy is one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Right now I'm reading Nietzsche. You could read Plato. You could read whoever you want, Schopenhauer. But yeah, just try to find out who you are as a person. What do you like? What do you dislike? And then go about that. And then start removing those things that you dislike. Even if they're hard, you just got to remove them. Yeah.
Cool. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Wrap.
Sick.
Thanks, guys.